Krav Maga wasn't born in a peaceful dojo, it was forged for survival in the chaos of real conflict. In the 1930s, Emil Lichtenfeld created it to protect his community from violent street gangs in Bratislava. His system was simple, direct, and ruthless. No rules, no points, just survival. The Israeli military adopted it, refining it in the crucible of war. The core principles: use natural reactions, target vulnerabilities, and end the fight fast. Krav Maga's reputation spread, known as a martial art stripped of ceremony, focused only on survival. But its journey didn't end in Israel. When Krav Maga arrived in Brazil, it met a new kind of battlefield, the unpredictable, often brutal streets of sprawling cities. Here, threats came from desperate criminals, not soldiers. The system had to evolve. Brazil's reality demanded more aggression, more adaptability. The collision of Israeli discipline and Brazilian street violence sparked a transformation. Local instructors realized the psychology, weapons, and ferocity of attacks were different. In this crucible, a new style began to take shape, one that would keep the spirit of the original, but be forged by Brazil's harsh realities. A new chapter was about to begin. Brazil's streets demanded a new level of self-defense, one that went beyond the original Krav Maga. Urban violence here was chaotic, desperate, and often armed. Practitioners needed to react instantly, with overwhelming force. Hesitation could be fatal. The answer was to strip techniques down to their most aggressive, efficient core. Training became more intense, simulating the terror and unpredictability of real assaults. Out of this necessity, Krav Maga skull style was born. The skull symbolized the life-or-death stakes of every encounter. Skull style became faster, more aggressive, and laser-focused on ending fights in seconds. It anticipated the tactics of Brazilian criminals, group attacks, weapons, and extreme violence. The founders didn't abandon Emil's principles, they amplified them, turning up the intensity. Skull style was forged for the streets, by the streets, a Brazilian answer to a Brazilian problem. It's a martial art reborn for survival in a world where hesitation means defeat. The skull isn't about glorifying violence, it's a stark reminder of what's at stake: your life. Training under the skull means accepting that real fights have no rules, no referees, and no second chances. It's a mindset focused on survival, not sport. Skull style teaches you to see every confrontation as a life-or-death emergency. The goal: neutralize the threat immediately, and escape. The skull is a mental switch. When danger appears, it triggers overwhelming aggression. There are no illegal moves in survival. Every target is valid, if it means you go home alive. This approach is a shock for those used to traditional martial arts, but it's essential for real-world defense. Skull style is about psychological conditioning. Controlling adrenaline, thinking clearly under stress, and recognizing danger before it strikes. It's about owning your survival, knowing no one else will save you. The skull is a symbol of ultimate self-reliance. It's not about aggression for its own sake, but about doing what's necessary when it matters most. In skull style, survival is the only rule. Skull style training is intense, mirroring the chaos of real street attacks. Speed and aggression are drilled until reactions become instinctive. The goal: overwhelm the attacker, targeting vulnerabilities with relentless force. Adaptability is key. Practitioners train in confined spaces, on the ground, or when movement is restricted. Everyday objects become weapons. The environment is part of your arsenal. Defense against knives and guns is a major focus, with techniques designed for explosive, high-risk situations. Training is realistic and stressful, simulating the panic of facing a deadly weapon. Multiple attackers? The odds are against you, so skull style teaches movement, positioning, and using one attacker as a shield. The strategy: break through the weakest point, incapacitate, and escape. It's a brutal, desperate approach for brutal, desperate situations. Skull style isn't about perfection. It's about surviving the worst day of your life. Every drill, every scenario, is about preparing for the unpredictable. In skull style, you train for reality, not for show. Skull style's greatest strength is its focus on real-world survival. No points, no trophies, just effectiveness. Techniques are simple, brutal, and designed for anyone to learn quickly. Eye gouges, groin strikes, and throat shots aren't last resorts. They're the first line of defense. The system is accessible, you don't need years of training to become proficient. It's ideal for people who want practical self-defense, not a lifetime in the dojo. But this focus is also its limitation. There's no competitive outlet, no tournaments, no medals. For those seeking sport or controlled challenge, Skull Style offers nothing. The training is intense and can be psychologically taxing. Used improperly, the techniques can cause serious harm and legal consequences. Practitioners must be disciplined, using these skills only as a last resort. Skull Style is a powerful tool, but it demands responsibility. Despite its intensity, Skull Style attracts a diverse community, not just young men, but people from all walks of life. Police and security professionals train for job-related dangers, but civilians make up the majority. Doctors, teachers, students, and parents come to learn practical self-defense, not to fight, but to avoid being victims. Training builds awareness, confidence, and a sense of empowerment that deters attackers. Women are a growing force in Skull Style, using technique and aggression to overcome size and strength. The system empowers them to fight back, fueling a movement for women's safety in Brazil. Young adults and even seniors train, with instructors adapting techniques for all ages and abilities. The message: self-defense is for everyone, regardless of age, gender, or background. Skull Style is a shield for all who seek it. In Brazil, it's become a symbol of empowerment and resilience. Skull Style's rise in Brazil is more than a martial art, it's a cultural shift. For years, people were told to comply with criminals and hope for mercy. Skull Style challenges that, teaching that you have the right and the ability to fight back. Training centers have become hubs of empowerment where people build confidence and community. The skull logo, once intimidating, now stands for resilience and self-reliance. Practitioners project confidence, making themselves hard targets and less likely to be attacked. The greatest victory is the fight that never happens. Skull Style's impact is seen in a populace less willing to be victims, subtly shifting the balance between predator and prey. At its core, Skull Style taps into the will to survive. It offers a direct answer to real danger. You can act, you can fight, you can survive. This is its legacy, not just techniques, but a philosophy of action and personal sovereignty. On Brazil's tough streets, Skull Style is more than self-defense, it's a declaration of strength. In the end, it's about winning the fight for your own life.